Why do you think fans have long wanted a deeper dive into Natasha Romanoff's past?
Um, oh gosh. um, I guess it's always interesting to know the past of the character that you're following and that you're a fan of. So why wouldn't the fans want to dive into her past, into Natasha's past, and deeper past? I guess it's natural. If you're a fan of a character, you want to know them better, you want to know them deeper, and you're embracing any information that comes through. It's exciting. It makes you understand the character better, understand characters' motives, how they got to where they are, how they became that. It's always, and things, no one is born to be a certain way, and we all become that. And it's all part of our history. And most of it is childhood and adolescence. And that's how we're made. So yeah, an insight in that will always help understand a character, any character, better.
Great. How do you feel about joining the MCU?
I'm thrilled to have joined the MCU. I'm a fan of these movies. It's exciting to be part of it, and I love, the character I got to play is such a badass, and at the same time, so with so much soul and so damaged. It's just, it's cool to portray that, and the strength and the skills that the character has is, for me as a woman, is very empowering to play that character.
How would you describe Taskmaster before we know the whole story?
Before we know the whole story. Taskmaster is this seemingly cold-blooded killing machine. It's a very skillful fighter. It's a weapon of war. There's nothing he can't do, she can't do. We could imagine anything behind that armor and that mask. It could be a beast. We don't know. And that is the surface of the character. Excellent machine with excellent skills. Now the inside, behind that mask, there is a human being. There's a woman, vulnerable woman, who has suffered and who has been abused throughout the years, who has been stripped of her freedom, who has to execute because she has no choice and she doesn't know any better because she was raised that way. She's confused and in lots of pain. She's gone through psychological and physical trauma. And there's a lot. I think as much as there is a war that the Taskmaster is involved outside, there is an internal war going inside that woman. Yeah, that's briefly.
So you touched on this a little bit, but who isn't Antonia? Who is her father, and what connection does her father have to Natasha's past?
So Antonia is Dracov's daughter, the baddie, the main villain, who is not very gentle with women, to say softly, and who manipulates them and mistreats them and and uses them. for his own good, turns them into a weapon. And so Antonia is his daughter, and she as when she's a little girl, she's involved in an accident that is, she just happens to be there. The assault that is directed at her father by Natasha Romanov, and obviously she gets involved. The daughter gets involved. She gets damaged, and in order to be saved, her father makes her this killing machine. So in a way, the damage that the character carries, or part of the damage that the character carries is due to what Natasha has done in the past. And Natasha knows what she's done, but she doesn't know that there are consequences, because she thinks the job has been finished. And we realize it hasn't gone completely 100% perfectly, and there are some damaged characters left. So that's the connection of Natasha to Draco, but also to Antonia, because she's part of the reason why Antonia becomes Taskmaster.
Can you answer this? When did we first hear Antonia's name within the MCU, and who said it?
So yeah, the first time Antonia is mentioned is Loki, who mentions her in the Avengers when he refers to Natasha's sketchy past.
Great. You are the spoiler in this film. How did you keep that secret for not just one campaign leading up to release, but several?
I had to keep it a secret, indeed, and it was a big. I knew it was a big reveal, and it was going to be a surprise that Marvel was preparing. I just, how do I keep it a secret? I just did. I think I would say I'm quite good at keeping secrets. I never think, I don't believe like people can keep secrets. So that part of where you think, I'll just tell one person and ask them not to repeat, is not my thing, because I know people do repeat. And so for me, it's just, I keep my lips sealed, and it's like in my mind, I've done it and I had to forget about it, and I didn't think about it. Whenever it was mentioned, I would just pretend like I've heard of the movie, but nothing else I can say or add, and that's it. It's not difficult for me. I don't have this urge to say, and did you know, I'm part. I don't really. I'm pretty chilled. It's like whatever. My mom didn't know. She only found out like 2 days ago. It's if things have to be done, they have to be done, and that's what I do. I just roll with it.
It's great. What was the dynamic on set with director Kate Shortland and the cast and crew?
So on set, Kate obviously directed this film, and it was really nice to have. Well, it's such a kick-ass movie, and there's a lot of power, and there's a lot of power that is coming from women, and women are strong and incredible, and it's directed by a woman, and it's rare when kick-ass movies are directed by women, and it was great that this was handed to her, and I think that there was a lot of like sensitive moments going on set. For example, I remember she was like so in tune with everything that we were doing. She would watch the scene behind the monitor and really live with characters through it. First of all, I remember her like coming out, after cut, coming out from the place she was watching the monitor, and either laughing or being in tears and being like, wow, this was so beautiful, it touched me. She was and then I remember observing her. I actually watched her watch the monitor when other people were, when I wasn't involved in the screen, and it was fascinating to see her face, because she was there mimicking the words. She was there, she was like really in it. And she's fascinating, Kate, like that. She's so involved. She was acting with us and feeling every single emotion. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see, the effect that that the scenes that you are involved in have on the director that you're working with. And obviously, that's sensitivity was coming through, and we tried to make the most important thing was how to make these characters human and sensitive, and and show these vulnerable sides to them. So yeah, the dynamic was very, very sensitive, very like everything was, out there, and vulnerabilities weren't hidden, and rather welcomed. And I like that. Yeah.
Black Widow celebrates strong women. What does that mean to you personally?
I think it's very important to have movies like that, especially nowadays. It's very empowering to watch those types of movies. For me, it was empowering. I think it has lots of messages, that film, and it sends different messages, as well as the insight in how women can be manipulated and how they can suffer, and how they can be stripped of their freedom. It's a metaphor on, many different things that can happen to women, and it's good to speak about it, to bring the awareness, to keep bringing the awareness to it.